And the depreciation for 20.09 is 136,364. The depreciation for 2010, again, you need to use your cost divided by the total production units, 200,000, times the actual units produced for that period, the 30,000. And the depreciation for 20.10 will be 204,545. Now we need to include our carrying amount at the end of 2009 and carrying amount at the end of 2010. Carrying amount end of 2009 will be our cost minus the depreciation, and our carrying amount will be the 1,227,272. For 2010, 1,227,272 minus the 2010 depreciation, and our carrying amount will be 1,022,727. Let's transfer to our deferred tax calculation. I've included machine, the carrying amount 1,227,273, and this is our calculation 5.1 for our market to be able to follow. For 2010, our machine's carrying amount 1,022,727, and this is calculation 5.2 for our market to be able to follow. We now need to calculate our tax base. When we refer to the given information, they've indicated to us that the tax allowance on machinery is written off over 4 years pro rata according to the straight line method. So recognize the accounting cost value as the cost of the asset purchase. Now this is important. Why? Because our accounting cost value was the present value that we have calculated. Therefore, we need to use our cost divided by 4, and this will be our tax allowance amount. I've included calculation 5.3 on the left side of your screen. It's our cost divided by the 4 years. Our tax allowance will be 340,909. Our tax base will be our cost minus our tax allowance of 340,909, and our tax base for 2009 will be 1,022,727 minus tax allowance for 2010 340,909, and our tax base for 20.10 will be 681,818. We need to include this in our deferred tax calculation. Tax base for 2009, 1,022,727. Indicate that this is calculation 5.3 for your market to be able to follow. Tax base of the machine for 2010, 681,818. Again, indicate calculation 5.3 for your market to be able to follow. We now need to include our temporary difference. The temporary difference for 2009 will be your carrying amount minus your tax base, 204,545 times 28%, and our deferred tax will be 57273. Now, my recommendation, guys, please indicate to your marker at the top that you use 28%. Please, this will assist your marker to be able to allocate marks to your amounts. Now, the next question, is this a taxable or deductible temporary difference? The carrying amount of your asset exceeds the tax base. Therefore, this will be a taxable temporary difference, and this will be a deferred tax liability. And I recommend that you always include deferred tax liability or asset, as this will assist you at the end when you need to look at the movements. Now for 2010, we need to include our temporary difference. This will be an amount of 340,909 times 28%, and this will be 95,455. Again, is this a taxable or deductible temporary difference? The carrying amount of the asset exceeds the tax base. Therefore, this is a taxable temporary difference, and this is a deferred tax liability. We have completed our machine, and we can now refer back to our given information, and we can tick off our machine. Note 2. Now it is important when you look at the information that you identify at the bottom that they indicate to us land A was revalued to 22,50,000 on 31 December 2010. Therefore, we need to take this into consideration in our deferred tax calculation. Now let's transfer this. Remember, this is land A. 2010 land A. Indicate your calculation 2250,000 minus 2,000, and then remember to include your abbreviation, the meaning of this for your market to be able to follow. And our revaluation surplus for accounting purposes is 250,000. For tax purposes, 0. This is purely an accounting entry. And then you need to remember in terms of IAS 12 paragraph 51C that if there's a revaluation surplus, that it should be taxed based on CGT 80%. And this will be your 250,000 times 80% that you need to include. This is 200,000, and you need to include your deferred tax, the 200,000 times 28%, and this will be 56,000. Again, my big question, taxable or deductible temporary difference. The carrying amount of your asset, it exceeds the tax base. Therefore, this is a taxable temporary difference, and this is a deferred tax liability. Now, what is important to remember with revaluation surpluses? That this deferred tax liability will be included in your OCI. When you look at the machine, the deferred tax liability will relate to your profit and loss. But the deferred tax liability relating to your revaluation surplus will relate to your OCI. Why? When you think about your journal entries, and I'm briefly going to include this for explanation purposes only, if you recognize the revaluation surplus, you will debit your land, you will credit your revaluation surplus, OCI. Therefore, you will have to debit your revaluation surplus, OCI, and credit your deferred tax liability in your statement of financial position. Therefore, due to the fact that the revaluation surplus is recognized in our OCI, the deferred tax will be deducted from our revaluation surplus, and the deferred tax will have an effect on our OCI. During the year, land B was sold for an amount of 1.2 million, and the profit on the sale was included in the profit before tax amount. We have identified that for accounting purposes, we've included 100%, but for tax, we only include 80%, therefore we need to take out 20%. Therefore, in our current tax calculation, we need to indicate that we need to take out the profit on the sale of our land and include your calculation. This is the 1.2 million minus the 1 million times 20%. Now, this is a profit that was that is included in the accounting profit. Therefore, if we need to take this out, we need to include our brackets, and this is 40,000. Then again, guys, indicate to your marker the meaning of your abbreviation. You may use abbreviations in calculations, but you may not use abbreviations in your notes, discussion questions, or journal entries. And we can tick off this paragraph. Next paragraph. During the year, management of Shakes Limited modified the business model and revalued the factory building on 31 December 20.10 to the value of 5.2 million. The manner of recovery changed to recovery through sale. Therefore, this is now extremely important that you understand this. The amount above our cost should be taxed based on our CGT rate. Okay, now let's refer to our calculation of our factory building. The revalued amount is our 5.2 million. Our cost, 5 million, and the carrying amount, tax base, 4250,000. Therefore, our total revaluation amount will be an amount of 950,000. Now, this is the total revalued amount. But when you look at this, you need to know the amount above your cost, this 200,000, will be capital in nature. Therefore, we need to tax this based on our CGT rate times 80 times 28%. And the amount between our cost and our carrying amount, our tax base, will be taxed based on your normal 28%. Now let's transfer this to our deferred tax calculation. In our deferred tax calculation, I will always recommend that you include the amount above cost, and this is the amount that we have calculated of 200,000. Therefore, indicate to your marker that you have calculated this at your 200,000. And I'm going to reference this, my calculation 3.1, and my calculation 3.2 will be my 750,000. So this is 200,000, calculation 3.1. And then the 750,000, calculation 3.2. But what happens with this in terms of our tax base? This is an accounting entry, therefore this will not have an effect on our tax base. Now the 200,000 that we have calculated, we've indicated, should be taxed based on our CGT rate. Therefore our temporary difference will be the 200,000 times 80%. The temporary difference will be 160,000 and the deferred tax 44,800. Now, is this a taxable or deductible temporary difference? Again, carrying amount exceeds our tax base. Therefore, this is a taxable temporary difference. This is a deferred tax liability, and this will be through our OCI because this relates to a revaluation. The temporary difference in terms of our 750,000 will be 750,000, and our tax amount will be 210,000. Again, this will be a taxable temporary difference. Carrying amount exceeds our tax base, and this is a deferred tax liability, and this is through our OCI. Now let's refer back to the given information, and we can tick off this paragraph. Remember, we have already calculated, note number 2, the present value of our machinery. Note number 3, they've indicated to us on 1 November 2009, Shake Limited signed a contract with Herbal Tea Limited to repair all the office furniture in their 8-story administration building. The contract stipulated a contract price to be 200,000. Now important, they've already signed the contract. Therefore, there is an obligation in terms of the contract for an outflow of future economic benefits. They indicate to us Herbal Tea Limited estimated that the total cost to repair all the furniture in the administration building of Shake Limited would amount to 120,000 at 31 December 2009. Herbal Tea Limited completed 25% of the repairs of the furniture based on the costs incurred to date to total expected costs. Therefore, we need to provide at the end of 20.09 for 25% of the total 200,000. And this is a liability. Okay, therefore let's quickly transfer this to our deferred tax calculation. This is a provision in terms of our repairs, 2009. This is a provision, and please ensure that you indicate your calculation. This is the 200,000 times the 25%, and this will be the 50,000. 50,000, and important, what is the tax base of a liability? The tax base of your liability will be your carrying amount minus the amount that will be deductible in future. Okay? Now, when you think about this, what is your journal entry? You debit your expense and you credit your provision. They have not yet paid, guys. Okay? Our carrying amount will be the 50,000 minus the amount that will be deductible in future, and this will be our 50,000. Therefore, the tax base is 0. Our temporary difference will be 50,000. My question, is this a taxable or deductible temporary difference, guys? The carrying amount of our liability exceeds the tax base. Therefore, this will be a deductible temporary difference. If this is a deductible temporary difference, this will be a deferred tax asset. Now, let's refer back to our given information. Then they indicate to us in the next sentence, Herbal Tea Limited completed the remainder of the contract. After inspection of the repair work done, Shake Limited made an EFT payment on 2 July 2010 for the work completed. The repair expense has been recorded in the accounting records of Shake Limited. Now, what do we need to identify in terms of this? At the end of 20.10, there will be no longer this provision. Okay? Therefore, we do not have to include this provision amount in 2010 as they have already paid. They've made an EFT payment on the 2nd of July.